Hello everyone, today I'm going to give you a few tips about the sound settings for your online voice work. We've already mentioned the importance of your being heard clearly so that you don't have to strain your voice when you're actually giving your presentation or having your meeting. That's equally as important for the person that you're speaking or working with. So it's going to be vital for them to get their sound settings right as well. Today I'm working on Zoom. I know that a lot of people are, but there will be settings embedded in different platforms. If, for instance, you're using Skype or WebEx, you just go to the settings and look at what's there. The main ones will be for the input from your microphone and the output to your speaker or to your headphone if you're using one. But today, Zoom, because it has quite a lot of elegant features, and I think it's really helpful, especially for people who are working with voice and who need to hear the timbre perhaps and the tone a little bit better. Having said that, you're never going to get it perfect, and it sometimes also depends on your broadband and various interferences that can happen. Anyway, I'll talk you through it just so that you can see what's there. Going down to the menu at the bottom, go down to the little microphone symbol and press the upwards arrow. And this is the Zoom app, which I've downloaded from zoom.us to my laptop. We've got all sorts of settings here. First one is really important. Select a microphone, and you'll see that one of them here is same as system, a built-in microphone, but I've selected Blue Snowball because I have a plug-in mic. This one is the one that happens to be on my webcam, but I don't tend to use it because I prefer the Snowball. So just in case you were wondering. Select a speaker. Again, you can choose to have it the same as your system. I've got a speaker called Creative T12 wireless, which I'm using. Again, you can use the built-in thing, and there's another option here as well, which is from my monitor, which isn't particularly good. So I've chosen what gives me the clearest output. You can test your speakers and microphone from here, but you can also do them from general settings, which I'm going to do in a moment. I generally stay with computer audio because I don't work with people on the phone, so I wouldn't need to work with those two selections either. I'm going to go down to audio settings in general. And there we have it. We have a box which pops up, and you can see the mic already responding to my voice. It will respond less if I turn down the switch here, and you'll probably hear the sound coming down. You can see that the amount of green is less, and we're moving into the red side of the slider. I'm just going to bring that back up again to here. It takes a couple of seconds just to adjust to the new level. I can test the mic using this button. I'll just count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that level is actually fine for me, as I can hear it through the speakers here. So you'll have to play with your own system and see what works for you. Bear in mind that if I get closer to the microphone, then obviously everything gets louder, and if I get further away, then the opposite happens. So if you're working with a singer or somebody doing enhanced speech, you might want them to move away from the microphone a bit to do that and come closer again for normal conversation. My microphone also has its own external settings, and I've chosen to have one that picks up my voice when I'm fairly close to it. So if you've got a Snowball or something like that, you'll find those on the back, and it's worth playing with those as well, just alongside the controls that you've got here within Zoom itself. This setting here, automatically adjust microphone volume, I don't usually have ticked, and it's because I teach a lot of voice and singing in an enhanced way, if you like, rather than just having meetings or giving presentations with just myself on Zoom. And what happens is if people make a loud sound, then the microphone will automatically adjust to that, and so the next thing they do or say will be very, very low in volume. and that's no good to me really. But again, you might find that that works for you in a meeting situation. Let's have a look now at the speaker settings as well. So if I go up here, you'll see there's a test speaker button, and there's also an output volume slider. Now I'm a little bit perplexed with this. I have my speaker selected. If I press test speaker, I can just about hear that ringtone. It's reasonable in the room with me. I can switch it up a bit. But you'll see now that I'm right at the end of this scale. And it's not really making much difference on the indicator. It certainly makes a difference to the output as I can hear it in the room. I also have a separate volume control on my speaker, so perhaps that's contributing to that. I think the main thing may be to just ignore the slider for this if it seems to be doing the same thing, and notice what the output is like for you in your room. I'll try and find an answer to that issue anyway and update you on it. Okay, there are some options down here. Join audio by computer when joining a meeting. I do because I usually forget to turn the mute off, but you can take your choice there, and then there's a little option for actually controlling the mute and the unmute. Here's a great thing. If we go to advanced in the bottom right, then you'll see I have ticked something called enable original sound from microphone. I really like this because it means that you can hear the sound as the microphone is hearing it. So the codec within the computer won't be interfering with that. And that's particularly good if you're, again, listening to voice for voice training or for singing, or you just find that the sound that's going across to your participant isn't very clear. You can get them to do this as well, and actually they've just released this feature on the mobile app as well. So it's something that you can get your participants to do very easily, even if they're not on their main computer. You'll notice that this little box has popped up to say it will also cancel some other enhancements such as echo cancellation and noise suppression. Just to be sure, I always disable suppress persistent background noise and suppress intermittent background noise here, mainly because then the mic won't zone in and out, and thinking again of singers, because I do work with singers a lot, or speakers, if you're working with a background track, then the system will treat that as a persistent background noise, and again you'll get incomplete sound. I tend to leave echo cancellation on auto, which means it will respond to whatever I do here. So that's it. We have all those options to play with. Do give them a go and see what works best for you. You'll definitely have the microphone and speaker options on Skype. I'm not sure about the other noise cancelling effects. If you are using a different platform and you've got anything great to share with us, then please do, because we'd like to know, especially if it's something that makes the sound a little bit more useful, especially for voice work and singing. For meetings, it's very useful to have something that will allow sound in an echoey room, because a lot of meeting rooms are, or that will allow enhancement if your room is particularly dead in its acoustic. You'll know what I mean if you've had to meet in places where there are lots of carpets and furnishings. And I'm still thinking here of online work, because what comes over the microphone will still be affected by the acoustic of that room. Okay, all for now. Do leave me your questions and comments, and I'll be back soon with another tip.